If you're a social media manager and you're not discussing these 3 things before you onboard a new client, you're probably going to run into some issues down the line. Here are 3 things that we always ask our clients, no matter what, before we sign them on in order to avoid potential issues down the road. A lot of these things sound really self-explanatory, but we talk about them because these are problems that we've dealt with. So let's dive right in. The first thing that we always make sure to discuss is, are there any other parties you work with that we need to be aware of? For example, we had one client that was working with a PR company that recommended that they purchase their followers, both on Facebook and on Instagram. That's just one example, but there are a lot of other scenarios where a third party can come in and really mess up what you're doing as a social media management company. So just be sure to ask them this question ahead of time so that way you know what you're getting yourself into. The second one is called email fail. And again, this is something that has actually happened to us where we're communicating with a client and they literally just do not respond to us. They ghost us, they don't get us what we need, and that's a huge problem. So addressing this before you sign on a new client can be super huge, and make sure that they are not going to ghost you. Last but not least, we address changing their course rapidly. So this isn't really an issue with big established companies, but if you're working with maybe people who are life coaches or influencers or smaller businesses, sometimes they have a tendency to switch up the direction that they are taking their business, which again has huge implications as a social media manager because you have spent so much time and effort branding them and building an audience based on one type of content. And if they are going to change their direction rapidly, it basically undoes all the work that you just did. So again, sounds really self-explanatory, but these are things that we make sure to bring up with our clients 100% of the time before we even sign them on, just to make sure that we're all on the same page and we can avoid any issues before they even arise.